Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you another video. Alright, as promised, about 37 seconds after I finished the last video, I said I would come up with a different topic. I drunk some water. And yeah, man, just at this point, I want to start something new in life, man. I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe take a class or something. Haven't really given that as much thought as to say something needs to happen. That ain't happening. And so that's what I'm hopeful the spirit, as I always say, will guide me toward, is what that new thing will be. It's a new month. We got a fresh month. It's Thanksgiving month. You know, obviously I'm still in my struggling space where I don't have an apartment. Still gotta try to maneuver around not having storage to put my stuff every 3 weeks. So I'm probably gonna have to put my stuff underneath the stairs again at the hotel over here, and then step away and probably get a room at one of these hotels right near me right here. And I'm just kind of tired of that routine, to say the least. Obviously it's a step in faith when you have to leave your stuff unattended, but you know, I don't know, man. Just got to figure out what I want to do with my life. Hollywood has been great. Walking back and forth here it's inspired me to enjoy being able to move around again, around people and stuff. Walking down this street, making this content's been great. You know, it's a lot of things in this area that's been fun for me, routines wise. You know, it's been being able to eat the type of food I'm eating, even though I've struggled with some of it. For the most part, I really have enjoyed living in North Hollywood. Under these circumstances or any other, it's not the worst place to be. Maybe I move over here when I get a chance. I don't know, man. Just trying to brainstorm my thoughts. Obviously, I still want to do my Laker videos and stuff like that. I still very much have a passion for that. Playlisting and all those different hobbies are very much in my mind, regardless if they make any money or not. But I'd imagine my awareness, I guess the awareness of my brand is growing as I continue to be as consistent as I am posting on Art Deviant. I encourage everybody to go check out BDF 44 on Art Deviant. And still got my streak going on Sketch a Day. It's going great over there in regards to almost 3-month streak. You know what I mean? That's what we're working on now. And you know, I'm just the art aspect of things. I haven't been doing any art. I haven't felt any inspiration to do any art. But since I did like 7,100 or whatever it was, I have plenty to share, plenty to sell, plenty to post all over the place. So it's like, you know, I haven't really thought too much about what art can do for me in regards to selling it. I know I should have, but every time I think to sell some art, it's just the steps that it takes to do so. I honestly, what it is for me is I honestly don't know what I have a right to do. When it comes to selling art, once I sell it, do I have to give them the original? If I'm selling duplicates, do I have a right to sell it many times? Because obviously that doesn't seem very good. You selling somebody art and then you sell it again and you sell it again, but it's like people do that with coloring books, people do that with all kinds of stuff. So it's like, what do I have a right to do? That's what kind of gets in the way of me in regards to selling art. So I don't really know what I have a right to do, and I think that's what I need to figure out, or learn rather, is what would put me in a position to sell art, and then in selling art, what are my rights? So that's what I'm trying to figure out. And in figuring that out, maybe I can kind of change my life in that way. Selling art and change my life in that way, you know? But, yeah, man, I just want some things to change, you know? And feel good about my life. And at this point, I feel like I don't have a right to quit, as I was telling y'all in the last video. As good as it was feel to be as defeatist as to do so, I don't think that's where my God wants me to go with my mindset. Because, you know, it is easy to not like life and then say I want to quit when you have a mind like mine that just struggles so much, and it's been compounded stresses, compounded frustrations, compounded letdowns, things you were waiting on never happened, that type of thing. It's like when you go through as much of that as I have this year alone, without the faith of God, I just want to get out of here, man. Like, truthfully, it's almost like I want the Lord to give me the right to quit. Like, I know he don't want me to do it, but like, part of me just say, man, can I leave now? Like, can I have permission to get out of here? And so he's not going to say yes to that. So it's like, all right, I guess I have a right to suffer some more, or be frustrated some more, or wait for something to happen that ain't going to happen. You know, I was told to step out of my comfort zone, but I don't know how to do that. That's the problem. My comfort zone is very comfortable. I don't want to step out of it. What I want to do is stay in that comfort zone and have success. Kind of manifest from within what it is that I do naturally, which is things that should probably bring success to my life. But you know, at the end of the day, that's not how this works, apparently. Man, it's going to require me to be uncomfortable to get out of this uncomfortable space. And I don't know how to do that. Not necessarily initiate it. That's been the problem. So I was hopeful to maybe meet somebody that could help me with that. And maybe that's what the Lord's trying to tell me. It's like, you got to get away from who you're attached to, so you can find somebody, or that somebody can find you, that can help you with some of these things. Because as long as you're attached to the person you're attached to, those things are not being done. You're not finding anybody that can help you with art. You're not finding anybody that can tell you exactly the different things you don't know about what is, you know, it's just, I'm too busy trying to more or less chase somebody that don't even halfway want to communicate at this point in time. And when they do communicate, it's like, it's far and in between, you know, they struggle with that. So it's like, I got the opposite type of mind, man. I'm everywhere, as you guys have heard me say. So I don't leave the house very much, as to say I'm everywhere in that way. But as it pertains to like what my mind does, I'm everywhere all the time. I'm constantly creating, I'm constantly moving, constantly putting myself in a position to have new creative ideas. You know, NBA analysts work, you know, various different things that I do on top of my art and playlists and all that stuff. I do everything. So it's like, I don't know what to do with it. And it gets to a point where it's like, yeah, that stuff could be very, very successful at some point when I have some idea of what to do, but I need an assistant or two. I need all kind of stuff. I need understanding, and I hate school. So I'm not gonna like necessarily initiate taking a class, because that's part of my mental health crap. It's always been, I hate school. I don't want to go to school. I don't ever want to do homework. I don't ever, you know what I mean? That's part of the problem. So it's like, if the solutions to my problems are nestled in things that I refuse to do, then how do I find what it is that will make me successful? And that's been the equation. You know, that's been the formula, the equation, I guess you could say. That's what's missing in my life, is just someone who can help me do the things that I don't know how to do, so that they can take what it is that I'm good at and turn it into something that works for all of us, for the group. And it's just, I don't have that support. It ain't there. So I just do what I know how to do, and I stay in this space, and it's a loop of me doing great things and it making no money, or me not being able to expand it. So it's all here, but it's all nowhere if you don't know it. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't exist if you don't know it. So I'm just tired of that, man. It gets to a point where it's like, yeah, I know I'm talented, but unless someone could do all the stuff that I ain't no good at to make it turn into something, I don't care for just being talented, and then that's it. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like to be on the inside of the talent, the artist, I guess you can say. Like, yeah, well, they tell you to share your art with the world. I am. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. It's like, I am. But the people I love the most, they don't really know how to, you know, navigate me there. You know? It's like, and so if I can't do it, it ain't getting done. So it just gets to a point where it's like, thanks God for giving me all of this, but you know, if a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, did it actually fall? I mean, who cares? That's the answer to that. Who gives it? Nobody knew it fell. Who cares if it fell or not? And that's kind of how I feel about myself at this point. Especially if the person that I wanted to be with doesn't care for me. To be honest with you. That's what it really comes down to. And so I can tell y'all the truth. That's exactly what it feels like. Even though that may not necessarily be what it is. But that's what it feels like to be in these shoes right now. Like, if she ain't a part of it, who cares? And that's defeatist. But that's what I'm used to. I'm used to being depressed and defeatist and one-track minded, and usually pointed at one person and ain't pointed at me. I mean, it's the story of this person's life, man. If it wasn't this one, it was the last one. Same thing, different person, same energy, different problem. You know, it's actually same problem. So you just get to a point where it's like, all right, I don't want to feel defeatist, but I'm tired of being in this loop of my life where I'm doing all these things that nobody knows I'm doing, and me chasing somebody that don't want to have nothing to do with me for reasons that ain't even clear to me in a lot of cases, or reasons that speak to me choosing them for the wrong reasons, or whatever the case may be. Me wanting them to do something that they shouldn't probably even be asked to do in the normal circumstances. As a man, it's like, all right, man, enough of this, you know? Give me the right to get out of here, man. I've got so much works behind me. I did so many playlists. I did so much art. I did so many of these videos. It's all here, man. Y'all got stuff. If you want something from BDF 44, it's all there. I'm tired. I'm tired. At 39 years of age, I'm exhausted. Ain't got no family. You know what I mean? As it pertains to my own family, of course, I got family members that love me and care for me a lot, but ain't got no kids running around. Getting older. Taking care of myself, but ain't nobody here with me to help. You know what I mean? To make it make sense. I just look great and go to sleep, you know what I mean? As far as me taking care of my body. You know, get in the shower, you know, go home, eat the same food, stay in the same loop. Nobody here to make it make sense. And so that's kind of what it is, man. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to work now, is because it don't make no damn sense. I want to stay in that loop. I hate that. Be there for 7-8 hours. I don't even have a mind for that. That's another thing. Like, if I'm gonna do security, I ain't halfway paying attention to what it is that's going on around there. I suck at it. That's the problem that I had with my security job last time, and I got in a little trouble. Because at the end of the day, people would throw in someone threw a laptop off of the third floor of the place that I was guarding, and I was slow to react to it because I was so depressed about being there. Like, literally didn't stop her from doing it. I watched her do it, just like I would watch her do it right now. And that was when I realized that I'm no good for the job that I was doing. I don't focus on that type of stuff. I'm a creative. I should be creating. I don't care for stopping you from doing something. Let somebody else who's wired for that do that. I don't care for doing security. And so it becomes a situation where you got to do that for money. But if I can't focus on it, then I'm not going to be able to get that money anyway. And that's what I learned. I mean, I'm supposed to be doing everything but that I do in terms of my creativity. I got so many things I do like that. I don't care for that, man. I don't have a mind for that no more. So even if I were to try to get a job like that, I wouldn't last there long. I know I wouldn't. Probably about 3 months at the most at this point, maybe even less. So when you're exhausted, when you're burnt out, this is what I feel like I am. And it ain't no reason to stay in that burn, so to speak, other than just self-preservation. It's like, well, why am I preserving self? I don't want to do this, and I'm only doing it for me. I don't want to do this. So that's kind of what I feel right now. I think I use Kay as a means of the hope of having it all make sense. I really do. I think I held on to her for all that I'm doing to actually matter to me. Because, like, if I have somebody that I see that it's going to work out somehow, maybe I can just keep going. But if I'm not enjoying nothing about it other than just the day-to-day creativity of what it is that I do, for which I'm still motivated to do, but you know, it's like, that's about it. Everything else is blah. And I don't even get to relax like I did over at Linux, because every 3 weeks I gotta stress about this. I gotta have a hard conversation with somebody and have ask for money, and it can go left at any moment if they don't send that money. Now I'm sleeping outside. It's like, what am I doing? Why am I even here, man? So that's kind of where I'm at, man. It's like that one thing that I was holding on to, her, to make all of this make sense, is now just gone. She ain't even, like, she don't even halfway respect the fact that I'm here. You know, so it's like, all right, man, if she don't give a damn, I'm having a hard time giving a damn, really. Not to say that I should be holding on to her as a means of making me happy, because that's a horrible thing. I would not advise that, but it's where my mental health goes, man. It's just where my mental health sends me in spaces like this when I'm down over somebody else. And what's the point? You know, and one would think that if I were to act on that I did it over her. But no, that's not what it would be. It's doing it because she was the last damn thing that was worth making any of this happen. That's really what it came down to if something like that were to go down. And I only say that because I know a lot of people who have unalived themselves in the wake of a relationship failing or somebody cheating on them or something like that. It looks like they did it over that person, but they probably, in a lot of cases, were just thinking like I'm thinking right now. Like, that was the last damn thing I was really doing here. Was believing in this person and in the hope of a future with them. Even if life sucked, at least they were there. Even if future didn't come around to get better, at least I had that person to hope for. If they ain't gonna be there and I can't see no other way to another person to feel that way about, or, you know, if I don't see no path to it, then it's just faith that's keeping you carrying forward. So, and like I said, man, my belief in God is keeping me here. You know what I mean? It really is. And it's like, that's how you end up choosing the wrong person and getting attached to that wrong person. Like, this person was always showing me that they weren't really that all there in that space. But because of how I'm wired and how I was roped to them for that, I just let whatever they say keep me holding on. You know, and they'd say the right thing that would, like, yeah, I can do it. Let me get up and work out. Let me get up and like, she would motivate a lot of what it is that I would do. So I think she knew how to, like, keep my mind roped into her by way of what she said, because she knew I was wired that way. So it's like, yeah, I can do it. But, like, you know, that's probably not good for your boy, you know, when you really consider it. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't backed by anything real in regards to her looking at you the same way you look at her. Your unconditional love for her was not unconditional to her. It was just convenient for her. So it's like, okay, so yeah, it motivated me, but just to a point, because once it gets snatched away, the motivation's gone too, and everything that's been done in that motivation is undone. So I guess I'm done too. Like, that's how it equates, you know. Without that motivation, that momentum keep you going. It's like I can't even bring myself to do the same stuff I used to do when that person ain't there to help motivate me to do it. Because I really never had that motivation in the first place. It was them instilling in me a certain confidence to do it. You know what I mean? That's the God's honest truth about a lot of stuff. Especially over the last couple of years when I was in isolation. It was her that was, keep going. All right, I'm going to do it. You look great. All right, I'm going to do it. That's kind of how that went. And so when she snatched that away for whatever couple of reasons, it's like she take that motivation with her. It's not just her going away. It's what she brought to the table that I fed off of so much. So that's what it is. I'll tell y'all the truth. That's exactly what it is. So, yeah, man. I hate that I have dry mouth while I'm on this camera, because at the end of the day, I really can't see it. It's a glare. You can see me. I can't see me at all. That's why you end up seeing me with mouth looking crazy. It's not because I'm not well enough to wipe my mouth. It's because I can never see myself while I'm talking. And when I get home, I see white mouth for a whole 45 minutes. Like, what the hell? But, yeah, I think we're all right. I'm not sure. Can't tell. But, yeah, man. So I just wanted to be as open as I always am, man. I'm transparent. I want people to know exactly what the experience is. I don't want y'all to have some idea that the experience is anything less than what it is. You know, people love to hold back on what they feel or lie about it or, you know, all that. And I don't see any fruit in that. Telling the truth is a lot easier for me. And maybe that's the problem for people. They just in lifestyle circumstances that don't allow them to tell the truth. They're around people that, you know, tell them they can't do that. I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's not how I move. That's not how I roll. And if I were in those circles, I would get the hell out of those circles if at all possible, so I can continue rolling like this. My girl B told me yesterday, she was saying, hey, it's easy to put yourself in a position to not have any drama in your life when you have antisocial tendencies and behaviors. I was like, that would explain why I never have to deal with nobody's drama, because I definitely have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to stay out of drama, and I do stay out of drama. You will not see too much drama going on around me, not if I'm in control of my circumstances. And maybe that's what the Lord be trying to keep me out of. If I get that person close to me, maybe I get all the people that come with her, and maybe some of them people ain't people that need to be in my life. You never know what the Lord is trying to spare you of. Truthfully, I don't know. I'm not sitting there saying I'm certain. Probably not. You know, who knows? But these are just the type of things that you gotta allow the Lord to do if you trust Him, like I believe myself to trust Him. It's like, yo, that person comes with this, and this. So how about you just sacrifice that person out of your life so that those things ain't present? It's like, that's cool. But could you move those things around too so that person can be in my life? You could do that too, can't you? Get them out of there so I can be around them. But I think the answer is no. In some cases, the answer is absolutely not. And so that's just what it is, man. But I'm tired of this feeling. But I feel a lot better now that I talk about it. And I just wish everybody the best if they're like my friend who can't talk about things. I wish everybody would be able to do that. You know, and if you're taking my example, then maybe you can incorporate more transparency into your daily living. Maybe you can't talk about everything in your life like myself. Maybe you can't talk to anybody about the things that you want to be transparent about. But to define them in yourself is a very important aspect of seeing oneself. It's listening to oneself and seeing oneself on camera or what have you. It's a very important aspect of learning who you are. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't ever see a camera on themselves, so they don't know how they sound. They don't know how they come off. They don't know what they do to others. They don't know what type of greatness can come out of their minds when they just turn on the camera and let it go. I do it all the time. And so I know I surprise myself all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, this is a good trait for a lot of people, depending on what type of head you got and type of circumstances you're in. Vlogging about yourself and, responsibly talking about your friends. Responsibly. Which I try to do, but sometimes you just got to tell your experiences. Fortunately enough, for my friend Kay, she has given me the green light to talk about her on here. Of course, I try to protect certain things, just out of the strength of that. That's the right thing to do. And I don't know everything, so I definitely don't be telling all of y'all stuff she don't tell me, which is probably a whole lot. But I do appreciate that she's giving me the green light to speak about my experiences, because if she told me not to, it would be a whole lot more difficult. And I guess that's just the beauty of the circumstance. She does allow for me to be me. And to a point, I allowed her to be her until it got too difficult to put up with some of her natural traits. So I guess that's why she probably needs to go away, because the only reason why it was even useful to be around me is because she could do whatever to me and it wouldn't bother her. But everything has a threshold, friends. And when you come in and out of people's lives and they have the issues that I got and they attach to you in the way that I was, it's only but so much that they can deal with that as they continue to get closer to you. And so maybe that's the point for her, to keep me at a certain distance so that I don't get closer, so that she can still be herself. And maybe she let that slip. Maybe, I don't know. But I can't be certain. I just try to live my life in a way that I know how, and that's putting God first, being transparent with y'all, and creating. And as long as I'm able to do that, I should be all right, I guess. So that's what I'm saying to you guys, man. Just try to be as positive as you can be, even though your circumstances aren't maybe what you want it to be. Give it a few days, give it a few hours, maybe give it even a year or two, whatever it's going to take, but just give it some time. And you might see an entirely different set of circumstances in your life that are worth living forever. Or for the rest of your life, rather, rather than just seeing that loop that you're tired of, man. Give it a few more days. Yeah, it sucks. The loop sucks. Yeah. But things do change, you know. I remember one time I was in a loop like that, working at a certain job. I was so tired of working there. I felt like I'd been there forever, felt like I was going to be there forever. But it was one of those things where it's like, I only had, when I was feeling like that, I only had like 4 more days to be there. That's the crazy thing about it. It's like the loop was nuts. I wanted to quit everything. I was just fed up to no end. But I really only had about 4 more cycles of that. And when you look back on your life through those type of circumstances, you realize they may have lasted a long time, but the times where you were most fed up, sometimes it wasn't that long left to be there. It wasn't, sometimes, depending on what it is. Now, if you're in a long jail sentence, that's a whole nother story I can't relate to, but I'm talking about like just different circumstances that require you to keep doing this. You ain't got that much longer to be there. So if you can get past the moment, and we talk about that a lot, get past your moment that you're most frustrated in, you might find out that you are only moments away from being rid of that frustration for a long time, forever maybe. So that's what I'm telling y'all. When I was in Lenox going through that whole thing, while I was doing art, I remember certain times I was so tired of doing it, so tired of the loop. And the reality was I was about to be evicted very soon. So that loop was going to be coming to an end. You know, I can just think about many situations like that. So that's what I'm sharing with you. But yeah, I want liberation from a lot of these frustrations. So hopefully the Lord can see it to it that I only have a few more cycles of this loop. And as I do, you know, give me the strength to keep going forward. And so, yeah, that's what it is. Praise the Lord. And incorporate him more. You know, when you know you've been attacked spiritually, like I know I have been this last week. Because I tell you, things were great right before that happened. Me and her were on the same page. And about a day before that little post or whatever it was, me and that friend of mine, we were on a great page. And then all of a sudden, boom, the enemy attacked. And now we're dealing with all of this. And it's like, you let the enemy win, you know? Let the enemy win. We didn't look at it as an attack. We looked at it as each other doing whatever. And so we, you know, I responded to what I saw. She responded then to that with silence. And now we're in a space where the enemy's winning. He's dancing around us, you know, juking and all kinds of stuff. Like I said, the analogy, crossing you over and dunking on you, that's what is happening right now. In regards to my friendship with my friend Kay. So it's like, yeah, you're going to feel like quitting. Yeah, you're going to feel like you got this cycle for another 300 millennia. Yeah, you know what I mean? But the reality is, if you know how God works, you know he got a counter for that enemy. So it's not for you to quit when he hits you. It's for you to, you know, stand your ground and respect what it is we've been talking about how the cycle could end, about how it was an attack, and all these different things. You know the truth, and it can get you through. So that's pretty much the end of this video, man. I'm right in front of the hotel. Time to go back in. Thankful I have another couple nights here before things have to start over again. Video 44. Thank you all for watching.